Then we have Rashawn Holmes dunking all over Will Barton.
Ooh.
So Janae, little highlight roulette. Would you rather cross someone up or dunk on them?
I'd rather cross someone up, but that dunk right there, like, why would you try to take a charge, though? Like, you should just take your L instead and move. But yeah, I like the crossover because those are iconic.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Allen Iverson fan.
It's like when you live in LA, you want to live in New York. When you live in New York, you want to live in LA. So like, I've crossed somebody up, but I've never dunked on anybody. So definitely the dunk.
I think you and I, Ramona,
Yes.
are not.
Short girl
I think our dunking time is
Probably not
I was gonna say
happening.
it passed, but it was never there. Miss explanations. Mike Scott bumping Damian Jones out on the break, and the officials went to the monitors. There was a lengthy review. Lengthy. Children were born during this review. Scott was given a flagrant 2 and ejected.
No.
Ramona, thoughts?
It's a little harsh. I feel like this is not like the Eagles game.
Right.
This is just, he was running.
Why you gotta bring it up again?
It's
This man already got ejected last
You
night.
have to sell the not foul also. Like, he obviously fouls him, but you have to sell that it wasn't that bad. So maybe it's just his reaction to it.
Sensitive.
Right? I
Very
don't know.
sensitive.
I'm interested to see what happens from here. Make spooky season. Isaiah Thomas dressing up like an Oompa Loompa
Yes.
for Halloween.
Just lean into it, all right?
Right? Which again is a fellow short person. I am so here for. We've had
Lean into
excellent costumes, by the way, so far. Cat was the Joker,
This is Joker
right?
season because of the movie.
No.
Right? Well, yes, because then
Don't get me started
Bradley
on that
Beal
movie.
and John Wall
like
showed
it?
up as
Hated it.
different Jokers. And Paul George, this is my favorite so far because
Have
I
major
love Game
problems.
of Thrones, and Paul George was the Night King. So, all right. Sinead, which was your favorite? And keep in mind, we had John Wall and Bradley Beal showing up at the same party dressed as the same
Same
guy.
thing. Mine definitely Game of Thrones. You know all about the Queen of the Dragons,
Thank
Dothraki,
you.
everything.
Thank you. Although I will say, shout out to IT, because that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Just
Right.
own it.
Yeah, just own it.
Just own it.
Paul George's makeup artist clearly coming to LA
Really good.
has been good to him.
Games.
Miss Careers, another day, another play where Jordan Poole was on the wrong end of the highlight. Jump producers, why you gotta do this? Why? Why are we doing this to him?
He tried.
This time he gets dunked on by Brandon Ingram. Remember during the preseason, he did get crossed up twice. And of course, we're gonna replay this again because
And those
people in our
player,
newsroom
too.
were mean, apparently.
So
That is mean. Oh, at least he didn't get
knee
hurt.
pass.
At
Do you
least he
think
did-
that he is excited for October to end? Or do you think that maybe he just wants to go take away all the Jump Producers editing equipment?
Yes.
Veto.
Right?
Like, why are you killing him like this?
This is like, didn't Shaquille O'Neal declare like a 1 week or something embargo with Shaq in the pool? Right?
Jordan. He's a good player.
McGee
He is a
wasn't
good
allowed to be
player,
there
and
on
he's
Sunday
trying.
anymore.
He's trying
He
to play
stood in there and
defense.
tried to
We
defend
shame
that.
him. We can't
Okay, speaking of highlights,
Ooh.
Fred VanVleet sending Markelle Fultz sliding across the floor on a step back.
Stutter.
I am saying Fred VanVleet, I did not know that he had this in his bag, right? Look at this.
So I think that Fred VanVleet served notice during the playoffs last year
Right?
that he was this guy, that he wasn't just happy to be in the league, that he could actually be a major player for them going forward. And poor Markelle though.
Yeah, giving you 18
That's
points per
worse than
game.
the Jordan
VanVleet.
Poole.
Right?
Put some respect on his
And he
name.
had a tough patch at the beginning of last season, and he worked back from it. I'm all for this. I have not seen this a ton from him. I'm liking it. It's good. All right, time to run it back.
Mighty Mouse.
Here are the best ankle-breaking step backs of all time. Yes, the professor, Mr. Bob, are back in his lab. Number 5, Nate Robb on Reggie Jackson, 2012.
The slip and slide.
Gosh, that's like a meniscus tear.
And when the little guy does it, right?
Slip and slide.
Let's see it again.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
So good. You got to make the shot. That's
Yeah,
the
you
thing.
do have to
make
make
it
the shot.
afterward. Number 4, J.R. Ryder on Willie Anderson in 1994.
Oh, he sat down.
And he just paused.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Were you sitting?" I'm
He
just gonna
enjoyed
try
that way
so
too
let's
much.
stop on the
And he
bar.
smiled
There you
too.
go. Looked at him. We got Kemba on Mirotic. This is just 224.
Oh, that's just like
Big
little
man,
guy on
it's the
big guy
big man
side.
fall where your feet
Yeah.
come up.
And
That's
Nicola
the
leaned
worst.
into that one because once he was on his butt, he just was like,
I would have done
"Take
like
a
those
little nap."
volleyball back rolls.
Right?
That's what I would
Yeah,
have done.
that's cool.
Right? And the Kemba shot went in. Again, this is what you need. D. Wade on O.J. Mayo in 2008. Okay, that was like a 14-foot clear. Look at that.
That's bowling
Yeah.
pins right
Right?
there.
Exactly. Got the guy next to him down.
Strike.
Young D. Wade, not good. And of course, you knew this was going to be number 1
Yes.
because the man licks his lips.
Let's
James Harden
go.
on Wesley Johnson, 2018. Pause. stop, and there you go. Yeah, the bench liked it. But again, watch James Harden, watches him, licks his lips. There you go. And then takes a shot.
I have his, oh my gosh. I have it on a t-shirt, that whole silhouette on the floor on a t-shirt.
This could be a top 50. I think I'm nominating this for a Jump specialty show with, of course, Allen Iverson's going to end up #1 in there somewhere. I'm just saying. Let's get to the Warriors, who got in the win column last night. The Dubs topping the winless Pelicans on the road. Draymond Green posting a monster triple-double, while Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell combined for 50 points. These are all sentences I've not gotten to say in the last week and a half, guys. And here, in fact, is what Steph and Draymond had to say after the game.
Everybody loves to label you when you're down and when you're losing. That's easy. It's easy to get on TV and say whatever you want. It's easy to just, throw darts at a team that's trying to figure it out based on how much, success we've had.
We still have a lot of improvement to do. When I said we sucked last night, I see a lot of people blew it out of proportion. A lot of former players who ain't never led blew it out of proportion. We suck, and we're still not very good. But I've actually known how to lead my entire life, so those that have never led shouldn't probably talk about leading.
If you want to get on, say whatever you want to say, fill that 24-hour news cycle, that's cool with us. We still gonna hoop and just play basketball.
So someone clearly showed the Warriors some videotape of, as they said, former players getting on TV to talk about them. I asked our beat writer, Nick Friedel, I was like, who are they talking about? And he said that there wasn't like a name that they gave. Do you have a theory?
My thought is Charles. I mean, Charles on opening night was pretty cold.
Right, but they're, well, maybe that they're referring back to what he said at halftime to Clay. I don't know. They were talking about the last 24 hours. Apparently, the Warriors are angry, but Chennai, I want to know who's going to get the last laugh, them or their critics.
I think the critics actually are going to get the last laugh just because the Warriors have been so good for so long that they've been immune to a lot of criticism. Coaches always say that winning covers a multitude of sins. Well, that's how it's been for the Warriors, and now that's not the case. And it's been their defense that's been the issue, in my opinion, because the Warriors are unique. When they have this defensive philosophy of anchoring their defense on the perimeter, most NBA teams anchor their defense in the paint, like helicopter bigs like Anthony Davis or Rudy Gobert. They anchor their defense on the perimeter. Well, they no longer have Klay Thompson. They no longer have Andre Iguodala, no longer have Sean Livingston. Even KD at 6'9" gave you length on the perimeter. And that all masked the aspect that Draymond Green at 6'6" was able to hold the paint down. Now you have D'Lo and you have Steph. Those guys, defense is not necessarily their strong suit. So, yeah, they feel a little bit more exposed, and we have a right to talk about it.
Well, I think also, though, last night was a really important game for Draymond Green because he stepped in front of the microphones, said some things the last few days, right? And he said, you blew it out of proportion. Okay, now watch. This is the first play of the game. And Draymond, instead of passing to Steph, instead of passing to D'Lo, takes it to the rim, okay? He has an option here, and he has not necessarily always been aggressive like this offensively. He tends to be more of a point guard mentality in that power forward role when he has the ball there. But for him to go, okay, this is how we have to play. I can't eat fourth anymore. I can't be deferential anymore.
Well, he's not fourth anymore, too, by the way. It's him and Steph.
It's him and Steph,
on the court.
That's it.
So, and they will need more plays like this because one of the problems is their defense is still going to struggle, right? I mean, there will be a lot of nights, as Steve Kerr himself said, where we look like this. And so what their offense is turning into is a much more of a half-court offense. There are made baskets at the other end that is then forcing them not to have those transition buckets that are so much a part of their motion offense. And so I think we are going to have to see more of that from Draymond, not just taking responsibility and charge, but making those kinds of play. The X's and O's have to follow too. It's good for them. They got a little bit of their swagger back last night. The truth is always in the middle. It's not as bad as it looks. It might not be as good as it might look, and we will see what happens from here. Coming up, we're going to talk about Kawhi Leonard. He has his most assists of any 4-game stretch in his career. We want to talk about that uptick in playmaking. Take a look. We will break it down. Here's what the Jump recommends for today, though. Jackie McMullen, she has this amazing piece on the app. It's about the Brooklyn Nets and how the KD-Kyrie tandem came together. There is a lot in there, but there's this quote from KD. I look at Kyrie as someone who's an artist. You have to leave him alone.
I say that's my editor.
Mic drop. Oh, really?